Hello traders and welcome to this new Bitcoin on-chain video. This is new type of the video because I'm always focusing on technical analysis and order flow, but I want to bring maybe once a month or once 2 months this type of video for hodlers and swing traders. There will be also a bit of macroeconomic talk, and it's definitely very useful for you as a trader as well. In the first portion of the video, I will go over a Bitcoin on-chain analysis. We have a lot of topics to go over. Second portion of the video, I will give time on why is market likely to slow down. It's already slowing down past 2 weeks, and why it's gonna last for a few weeks or a few months in my opinion. And then last portion of the video is very interesting topic, why there is no alt season. Yes, because many of you have exposure on alts and you are definitely disappointed. I was giving because I was taking a lot of steps on altcoins, so you could be copying me, but I will be giving you reason why there is no alt season and what you want to see actually for alt season. This video is very complex. It took me 1 day to prepare for it. If you like this type of the content, then you can give it like, and I will be happy, and I see I can make it for you in the future. So let's start. I will be opening the links. I have everything in the order, so we will be starting with Bitcoin. I just want to show you if we what are the indicators showing, if we have some top in at least local or high time frame. And also you can see here, actually we can just start. So let's go with the short-term hodler indicator. Usually in the bull markets, you are trending above the red line, and in the bear markets, you are spending significant time below. In this indicator, it's also showing us the market got reset. I will be zooming in briefly. One more warning for you, in case, because many people ask how to see bear market on Bitcoin from Onchain. The one warning sign, for example, as here is you are spending over 80% of time below 1, so you are mostly red, and every time you try to be a bit of positive is looking like Bitcoin is like droning, yeah, so it's pushing up into the green zone. People are buying these short-term hodlers, but they are quickly getting into the loss, yeah, so it's also logged in downtrend and other things. But that's how you recognize bear market. Currently, this is how beautiful bull market looks like each time we are breaching into the into these maximum, because these drops which were happening into the 0.90, 0.95 were usually exhaustive price action, and we've got a lot of order flow metrics telling us we need to go long as along with this. So this is beautiful. Currently, market is getting reset. I can zoom in here into the, what can we watch? Recent history. Yeah, it's a bit better. We can see the upper line is currently at 92,000, so Bitcoin is still doing well. So, since post-Trump, I don't think we can zoom in even further. So let's go into 3 months. Yes, there was not even touch. So I'm definitely watching this line. 92 is currently at 92,000. And I'm watching the first retest of the line if it's gonna hold. We already got multiple front runs because we've got technical support there. So that's, like, from this perspective, market is really looking really good, but it's also is range bound since 14th of November, 2 months range at least here. Okay. MVRV. So this was already warning you post-Trump there will be some distribution, same like here. We can see, because I think, in my opinion, Bitcoin will be topping out. In the past, we found very strong tops when we were over 2, yeah, over 2 here, over 2 here, these big tops. But now, as market is getting, market cap is increasing, and we are maturing, more money is flooding into the system, we can be actually topping out below 2. Yes, it should continue like that. In case Bitcoin gets some beautiful news events which gonna accelerate Bitcoin over 110,000, 120,000, for example, Bitcoin reserves, yeah, or a financial world is changing, we get quantitative easing, then you will be watching also these previous tops which were around 2.20. Yes, so this is useful. If we zoom in, we can see, let's go to 6 months. You can see already getting these distribution warnings for you. Okay, you've got this standard deviation push over, so this distribution here is zero surprise with the MVRV. Funding rates. So funding rates are still positive. If you are looking for bear market, like the biggest buying opportunities in like bear markets, or when you are getting massive pullbacks, of course you want to see negative funding rates. So definitely you can keep eye on this. You can see even here when we go to recent history, we can see we briefly went into the negative territories when Bitcoin was hovering around 52,000, 54,000. Capital, like all the leverage was pushing, was flushed down, and then you are getting these opportunities. Look at that bear market low, massive. So in the future, I'm definitely looking, if we get like deeper pullbacks, I want to see negative funding rates as one of the confluence for for new range to be formed and for new swings, so we can swing load positions. So definitely useful. And you're also watching when market is getting super overheated, yes, like in these regions. Yes, market very overheated here, again overheated shortly after we found the top, overheated here, but we still pushed, but in the end market cooled down a bit. So Puel multiple, this is mainly to spot top markets based on standard deviations. You are getting top signals and bottom signals. This is again for swing traders and hodlers. So far we had, like in this cycle, we had no capitulation in this, so like here. And you are still not getting any top warnings because it's tracking this line here, 1.25 standard deviation. It's still very far away. So in case Bitcoin wakes up, starts to push over 110k, you will be keeping eye on this line, because in the past, look at that, it was perfect pretty much. Yes, resistance here, brief top, market top. So we've got very close when we were at creating a 72,000 high. So it's still working really well, and people are definitely loading up close to green line. So this can be really useful for you for swing trades as well, not just hodling, but swing trades. Very, very good. Puel multiple, keep an eye on it. I'm also not explaining these tools into detail. You can find their description on because this video would be too long. So just very, very briefly. Profit, so this is net unrealized profit and loss. How many market participants are happy in green? We only talk about Bitcoin because on alts you are destroyed. So Bitcoin currently, like, you are always careful if you like bought Bitcoin in these red regions in the bear markets. For example, when Bitcoin went into the green areas, I was already selling some of the Bitcoin. This helps me, and it should help you to be really, to remove emotions from Bitcoin price and just act when everybody is in profit. Is good time for you to actually take profit. Yes, on their positive, on this positive market sentiment. Yes, for now we are just going sideways here, nothing crazy. You can see as Bitcoin is maturing, we are reaching less and less euphoria greed. Yes, we are more of in this green, so it's like belief denial, but I don't think it's so precise here. It's just, this is just normal, like, because market cap is getting bigger, so it's harder for Bitcoin to reach these extremes as in the past. It should like long term it will be trending down. Yeah, in the future we might get pullback and it's gonna be forming new highs at 0.6, for example. But very useful for bear markets. You will be ready when everybody is in loss. You look for opportunities. Warren Buffett, you know what he said: when there is blood in streets, those are the lifetime opportunities. Like, I cannot agree anymore. P cycle top. This is based on DMAs, cycle oscillators. Again, it's more signal for the overall top of the market. So far, we are not seeing that. We are not seeing that from overall market. You see, it's happening when moving averages do crossover, and we haven't had, we haven't had that catch up there. It's also very useful for finding bottoms. Look how precise it is. This is literally how institutions and hodlers and other market participants evaluate Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is pretty hard to evaluate, so we need all these metrics to make these big decisions. And now just do not guess. Technical analysis is one thing, but this is very helpful. P cycle top we did, so we can go to 200 week moving average. We will be turning off this. This is also like small advice for you. Every time, like, I'm not fan of moving averages. Yes, some people trade some strategies on it. It's fine. but for me the only useful moving average is 200-week moving average. It's usually giving us, when like not just Bitcoin, any asset in the world, you are carefully paying attention to 200-week moving average, it oftentimes is last line of defense for the bulls to actually save the asset, and also to provide big bottoms when asset is in bear market. Yes, you can see clearly on Bitcoin. Look at that. Since 2015, these were like major trading opportunities for you. The institutions loading up. So holding here, another retest in previous cycle, holding. This was the Corona drop. So of course we overstretched most of the technical analysis things. You are holding that. It's also for you to tell you what is the asset in macro trend. So you can see Bitcoin is still in macro uptrend. And once you lose it and you start trading below, then it's pretty bearish for Bitcoin. You reclaim of it and start trading above it again, starting new bull markets. You can see it was not so precise in our last cycle, but still it's like good to keep an eye on it in case Bitcoin gets very deep pullback. It's now currently at 44,000. It's very encouraging to see this rising long term. EVIV, true market mean and EVIV ratio. So again, you are working with the standard deviations. You know, I really like standard deviations. We even added them in our trading strategies a few weeks back. So again, it's the standard deviations. We are above the this orange one, and it's showing you above orange ones the decent distributions. Like you already should distribute some of your profits, some of your hodl profits on Bitcoin. Like same like here, we went into the 9-month range. It was warning you perfectly, and actually we topped out with exactly with very close to same price, 0.87. Okay, so again another distribution which can go for weeks or months, but people are getting signal from this indicator, from this on-chain indicator, which is pretty precise. We will get range and it's time to distribute, it's time to sell a bit of your Bitcoin, take profit. Okay, if we get again in the future moves about 110, 20, 30k, then you will be watching moves over, like you will be watching the red one and moves over. Miners, this is really good. I really love this. Is very complex chart. We can see, because when we go, so let's go here, we will go into Agar. We are using it on a daily basis. We can go to daily time frame. Many of you, sometimes people are asking me why the hell we are seeing on high time frames constant delta on from spot, and even perpetuals is like going down, but we will focus on spot. It's still trending down because miners who are mining for years are still dumping. They are just they are actually market selling on any uptrends because they also need to book profit. So they will be, until their balances go to small portions, they will be selling, and you will be seeing forever the, like on macro time frames, you will see these declines, yes, on small markets. And now when I go into this, it's gonna make sense. Look at that, because that which cycle we can focus on. I will be zooming in into this cycle, but you can see their inventory is declining. By the way, this is Patoshi miner balance. It means those are very early miners, very early miners, which is actually Satoshi plus few early miners. So this 1 million of inventory on miners is very likely not ever move. And then we have over 700,000 Bitcoins, which is estimated to be lost. And in total, we have 4.3. Okay, so minus 1.7. So it's 3.3, around 2.6 million Bitcoin is still on like proper miners balances, and they are slowly distributing, but this is going down. Yeah, but you see, they are not like, they are a pretty big force to be reckoned with, because they are often creating the, they are often creating the tops and bottoms when they are selling. So pretty useful. And now balance on exchanges. This was one of the metrics why we actually, like a lot of people were writing about this on Twitter as well, and this was super useful. So let's have a look on that. So you can see this is pretty short. Like I cannot go much into the past, I think. Yes, It's mainly for the past year, but you can see how quickly. So first inventory on exchanges was 2.42 million bitcoins, or most of the exchanges, I think. And now this big Trump pump, look how much inventory we lost. So we went from 2.43 down to 2.2, 2.43. So over 200,000 bitcoins was bought up already since the Trump. Yes, I will be showing you more metrics who is buying that. So a lot of like smaller, like they are called shrimps, people up to 1 bitcoin, they are buying heavily in this. So we can see pretty interesting, like you want to see that, you want to see definitely inventory declining heavily, then it's creating supply shock. So you have pretty easy move to the upside. We know there are a lot of limit orders. We see that on the order books usually when they go down, and to the upside we often see like empty order books. So this is one of the reasons, like Bitcoin is getting illiquid, the higher it pushes, because there is just less Bitcoins to be bought. So, and when I zoom in, we can see interesting thing happened just recently. There was like big influx of from 2.14 million inventory in exchanges went to 2.26, so over 100,000 bitcoins added to exchanges. Not even sure what happened here, but this is also could be part of like someone wants to sell, like maybe miners or who knows. But the inventory, like such a big spikes of inventory and exchanges is not bullish. Yes, it's because it's added supply, and you can see since that moment we still continue to be range bound. Okay, since 6th of February. So someone could be, and it's still rising, so people want to very likely sell. So this is very interesting. We want to see this trending down. We want to see this trending down in order to either go sideways or trending down for good things. Quantile model. Now I will be including a link to this in my video. This is probably the most precise way how to quantify future Bitcoin price. People use various things. They use like rainbow charts, channels, and other things. This is, you should really read this article. I'm not gonna be reading that, but this is very useful for you. Again, because for example, the place we are here now, this was predicted back in 2018. Yes. And you can see Bitcoin is actually spending a lot of time in the blue lines. And for the next few quarters and years, you are getting some big targets, how much will be price of the Bitcoin. And also, yes, just read this article. In case Bitcoin gets massive volatility into the red zones or into the gray zones, those are like major opportunity areas for you to buy or take some profit and sell. So definitely we can quantify Bitcoin future movements. This is not based, by the way, on technical analysis. This is just based on statistics. Just read the article. Very good thing. Twitter followers. Let's load it up. So this is going to be more connected to why we don't have Altseason yet. I should probably include it in other sections, but I can comment already here. You can see, this is, by the way, really nice indicator. We can see like the Bitcoin push since 2023 was really fantastic. We did 6x, I think. But in terms of like strength of the bull market, we didn't see massive increase like in 2021 on social medias. Okay, so like the true retail is still not aboard. Some portion of the, like some old people who are already in the system since 2020 and 2021 are on the train for sure, but not like many new people, like these big spikes here. Okay, you will see that also on not only on Twitter followers, but also YouTube views and YouTube subscriptions. Look at the YouTube views. So they are also not trending, so they are pretty much stable. It's showing you very likely just same people who are in the system are watching. We want to see such a massive increases as here post to 2020, in 2021 and 2022. Here are the subscribers for all key YouTubers, for like retail YouTubers and so on. Again, nothing to write songs about, so it's still pretty mild. It's like not proper bull market we want to see in terms of new retail coming in. Historical risk level. This is, by the way, also great. You can keep eye on these things. This is mainly to warn you when Bitcoin is truly overheated. You can read about how it works. And it's just basically you watch when Bitcoin moves above 0.8, 0.9 and to the downside. Each significant bottoms were happening around 0.2 and 0.1 between those two. Okay, so definitely you can keep eye on this, pretty useful. Cycle bottom ROI. This is measuring the performance of Bitcoin since we bottomed out in our cycle, we can see. So the market cycle 5 is our current cycle, the pink one. You can see this is like in terms of like steepness of the trend, this is not very steep compared to other cycles. Let's turn off the old ones. We can see it better. So this is previous cycle. You can see Bitcoin was this was Corona drop. Bitcoin was actually going pretty same. Like here, we started like moving outside of this range properly and into the Trump it's in similar manner as in previous cycle. It's just market cap is much larger, so it's harder for Bitcoin to move. But like timing was pretty good. Timing was pretty good, but we see this impulse. After this impulse, we started to go into the longer duration sideways range. So this is pretty much like we are missing this another push from previous cycle. But yeah, it's pretty similar, like Bitcoin was range bound in this previous cycle, so it can actually go for much longer. How about this cycle? Oh yeah, this one was like textbook. This one was done also when the Fed liquidity was really great, and in this one as well. But yeah, cycle is not over yet. We will see how we end up later on. And we can have a look now on post halving gains. This is even more fun. Because a lot of people are telling you the post halving we will see the strongest gains. It's possible this cycle is going to be different because we have ETFs involved as well. So we can see so far is nothing crazy compared to previous cycles post halving. Yeah, maybe because I don't think it's gonna play as much role moving forward, because now halvings will be not as significant. This especially like future halving will be going from 450 bitcoins to 250, I think. So it's not going to be such a massive change, and there are like diminishing returns here. Yeah, so far this cycle from like halving is pretty weak. But if things get better in the second part of 2025, we might still catch up to previous gains. So we will monitor for that. Dollar index compared to Bitcoin. This is really good to realize what was Bitcoin doing when a dollar index was going down or up. These were like macro moves. You can see clearly here the best Bitcoin pumps were happening when dollar was weaker or going sideways. Okay, so for example, let's start here in 2016. So a very big move down to the downside dollar index. Yes, it went from 100 down to 88, and Bitcoin, this was the best, like the strongest pump in Bitcoins are happening with the weak dollar. Okay, so same like here again. Corona drop, dollar starts to get weaker, Fed is starting massive quantitative easing, we go from 102 down to 90 again, and Bitcoin is giving you massive bump to the downside. Also, dollar index is getting stronger here, and Bitcoin is in bear market. Now, another, like the latest cycle top, 2021, look at that. Bitcoin went from 89 up to 110. Huge move on dollar index, getting very strong. And we've got the bear market. Now we better, can we zoom in? I cannot probably zoom in here. But what is happening, what was really interesting. So dollar index was going sideways, and yet Bitcoin did very good moves, like 6x, okay, since the lows. By the way, a lot of assets in the world, like gold also. Gold is not liking when a dollar index is getting strong. It's usually not performing so strong, but gold is almost at 3,000. So very interesting. Currently, the dollar index continues to pump. It's gonna be pumping on if Trump is taking more hostile actions against allies with the tariffs and other things. And this is also like, so Bitcoin is not pushing into new all-time highs, but is also in the range. I think the stronger dollar is also putting a lid on Bitcoin for now. And it actually, it balanced out the push above 100,000. This is one of the reasons I think if we continue to have strong dollar, it's going to be counter measure against Bitcoin, and it's gonna put Bitcoin into range. So very, very interesting. We will be keeping eye on this. Miners, inflows and outflows. This is interesting. There are many metrics how you can measure miners, but for now, so this is simple put. The more you move above zero, the more inflows you are making from miners into exchanges, and then the market participants assume when the miners move money into exchanges, they will be selling. Okay. So you can see as Bitcoin was in the previous, this was even older cycle, the massive inflows were happening here. The miners were actually even forced to sell Bitcoin in last cycle. To the downside, look at these orange lines, massive selling. So a lot of miners are actually greedy. They are waiting for Bitcoin to turn down, and then they are forced to sell. Okay, so the miners, and what we are seeing now, so yes, we've seen some distribution. But what we are seeing, I think like a lot of miners, I was actually watching the data in the past, were already selling when Bitcoin started moving from 16,000 highs up to this 9-month range we were in. So, and we can see, is there, no, I cannot, resolution weekly. Monthly, maybe I can keep it on weekly. But from these points also miners are like they are doing net outflows from exchanges. Look at that, we are below zero. So this is very interesting. Like 60,000 bitcoins per each week was taken out. So you don't have as much selling pressure for miners, but we need to monitor this in the future in case this is like they start to send again to exchanges and potentially form us top, give us pullback. So this is now Glassnode. So we can see currently the wallets which have less than one Bitcoin are called like shrimps. The retail is currently slowly buying Bitcoin. We can see it's rising. 10,000 Bitcoins per day is taken there. So retail is slowly buying in this post-Trump range because they expect all-time highs and further, very likely. But you see who is negating that. So we are getting negated that from whales. You need to keep an eye on Glassnode. So the whales, the wallets which have more than 1,000 Bitcoins on their wallets, they are offloading 32,000 Bitcoins per day. So you can see retail is buying, but large traders are distributing. And that's very big difference. You see how the things can change, right? So when people should be buying much earlier in the cycle, they are buying now a bit late, right? And one more thing about Bitcoin Onchain is Mr. 100. You can keep eyes on this wallet, and I will be including link into the YouTube under description. This is the Mr. 100. The world still don't know who is that. Some people were thinking it's some country accumulating Bitcoin, but who knows? I don't know yet. It's very interesting what he does. He's pretty precise, like he's timing market. Like you can see his balance. So the balance is in blue. Since bull market was in progress since 2023 lows, he was like slowly accumulating, oftentimes buying few hundred Bitcoins a day, every single day. And now his balance starts to slowly go down. And look at that, we pushed over 100,000, and first time after 2 years actually, his balance was taking huge moves to the downside. Very likely he was taking some nice big profit, and it's still downtrending. I would really, you can keep the eye on this wallet like once a week. What is he doing? Like, is he starts, do we see new accumulation from this wallet or no? But he's timing market really perfectly. And he did play that well. Yeah, look at that. So he was accumulating here, 75,000 was his top. And then his wallet from 1.7 billion went to over 4 billion. So of course you will be, look at that, he's selling heavily. So he made 2 billion. So of course you will be taking profits. Look at that. So from 75,000, his balance is dropping now to 58,000. Very clever whale. Keep an eye on him. He's timing markets really well. Very well informed entity. So he actually went down, like he's getting, like retail is buying here, and you see the big whales are distributing. So this is one of them. Okay, so that's why we are having this range. Whales are selling already on retail. He starts, by the way, accumulating again Bitcoin, like when? So this is, yeah, already like, today is 12. He bought yesterday a few hundred of Bitcoins. So for him, 96 Bitcoin and lower is cheap, and he's distributing about 100,000. Very, very good. So we went over some of the on-chain indicators on Bitcoin. I hope it was useful. Now we can have a look on why Bitcoin, why is market likely to slow down. Let me show you ETFs. You can go to chart also. 1 day time frame, 4 hour time frame. So you can see. So we can see we are in a 2.5 month range now, and Bitcoin volatility is slowly dropping down. One of the reasons why this is happening and why you can actually predict this in the future is to watch. You can watch inflows into ETFs, and you can see what is happening. The yellow line is Bitcoin. You are getting some like big inflows days, but you're also getting outflows days. So it's very mixed. This is what is leading to range. But even more information you are getting from volumes. So look at the previous year when we were putting the first stop, and then we went into the 9 month range. So ETF inflows saw massive spike to the upside, and then the volume starts to going down. And then they are really like low. Now we currently are in these low volumes. So this is just... This is very similar what we were in the, then we went into the 9 month range. We also had like big spikes. We also have like more volume days than before, but we are already like locked in this. If I see we are locked in this for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, then I will be expecting more range bound conditions on Bitcoin for next few weeks or next few months. Same like here, maybe even into the summer, because we were in like, when we return back to chart, in this range, when ETFs dried up, as I was showing you, we were here for 9 months. We were actually in downtrend. The volatility was like decent, but we've got a lot of periods of time where Bitcoin was stuck, and you really needed to be more positioned for swing trades and intraday moves, which also like become swing trades. So, and you were watching the bottoms and top of the range, like you were not trading much in between, because these moves are really violent over the range. So same thing is very likely happening here. Me personally, until we get some like good catalyst for Bitcoin, the range should continue here, and we will be lurking at the critical areas, at the highs and lows. If ETF inflows wake up, then I will be changing my mind on this, but for now, that's my view. Also, totally open interest. This is very interesting. I don't know how is CoinGlass calculating total open interest, but on TRDR we've got it pretty precise. You can already see there was like pretty big drop of open interest on CME. CME is currently, let's have a look if CME has the biggest open interest build up. So the Binance has 11 billion, Bybit 8 billion, and then CME. By the way, in this screen you can see why I pay attention to CME, Bybit and Binance. Is all I need, because the rest of the market is just noise. Very small market participants. So, yep, BitGet is growing also, but they are faking volumes. Deribit. But the options market is much larger. This is just... So open interest is also decreasing. I will show you that on TRDR. That's another reason why Bitcoin is getting slower, and you need to really adapt on such conditions. Let me delete the circles first. Okay, done, and let's go to open interest here. This is the most precise way to measure open interest because we are focusing only on the new additions. We've got a pretty large increase here, which will be sorted out today very likely on CPI. When we go to 2-hour time frame, we can see open interest. So the total open interest is very close when Bitcoin was around 68,000. So you've got really good clearing, because this was, by the way, the largest liquidation event. So very good reset on open interest, but recently we've got this big rise, so it's gonna be leading to volatility. But other than that, it's one of the reasons why Bitcoin is getting slow. I think we've got a lot of shorts in this open interest. So in case there will be positive CPI today, then we will be pushing them out. So open interest, another reason why Bitcoin is pretty slow, and also historical volatility is going down. I personally believe as we move forward with Bitcoin into the next few years, the volatility, like Bitcoin will be volatile asset, but the long-term volatility is going to go down because the market is maturing, market cap is increasing, the liquidity is increasing in the system. And I don't talk about the liquidity which you take when you are destroying people on stop losses and liquidations, but overall liquidity in during trading, like brokers which are providing liquidity with the walls, and for example CME, right? So, and you can see this is still downtrending. So overall liquidity is getting also very congested. The current liquidity is very similar to when we were in, where was that? Summer. Yeah, it's getting very low. So that's another way. I can maybe zoom in a bit. September. But yeah, previous year was very volatile because it was like middle of the bull market, and we've got these many news events. Germany was selling and so on, so very volatile. Currently, look at that, so it's still downtrending and volatility is like dying a bit. So that's another reason we are slowing down. Option open interest, another reason we are slowing down, because options also like taken out, like a lot of options actually expired here at the end of the year. 20, yes, here. This was one of the largest options expiries of the year for few billions, I think. So open interest immediately took big down move. So it went from 42 billion down to what? That's a big drop, 25, yeah. So you see like 20 billion was booked before the end of the year. Crazy. And now it's still around 30 billion. So it's not like nothing crazy. Again, there was some build up here, but again, options were booked. I'll be showing you options in a few minutes. Yeah, so open interest build up on options is also like not so high. So also market tends to just go into range when it's like that. Options. Just want to check options for the future. If market should be like very bullish, I expect, because it's still like, you cannot say it's bear market, of course. It's still bull market until we see further evidence. So you have options to check every single option, or you can just do all expirations and see how much volume. So currently market is still like bullish, very bullish. It's betting 900 million on 100,000. Those are definitely more short-term options. And then you have a lot of bets on 110,000. By the way, these will be big magnets in the future. That's why you also you were rejecting from 110,000, because this is also very big barrier on option markets. They don't want to let the market to go over that or even stay above that, so people can trigger their options. So you see, and also 120,000, I think is just from like my option market is already telling you this is going to be like the biggest resistance of this year in case we get there. It's 1.8 billion is already betting there, so very big bullish bets there. If you'll get like to 119,000, and I think a lot of people will be employing some spot capital to actually push over 120,000, so they can trigger their options. But yeah, 120. Then what else we've got? 125, like all the round numbers, of course. And to the downside, people are betting on 95,000 and then 90,000, and there in the future a lot of options are in 70, 75, 80,000. This is also very likely to be support in the future, because these people will be taking profits and they will be causing opposite move. So 26th of December, how much volume it? Yeah, it's still little. Okay, I don't want to go over every single option here. We just check like this. So still market is call open interest is almost double. So people have double bets on the upside. So still very bullish bets on from options markets. So this is the overall summary why Bitcoin is getting a... And by the way, be careful when you trade during high volatility. You need to be careful when Bitcoin gets slower. For example, Asia and London sessions will be very likely boring moving forward, and you will be focusing on New York session really. If you want scalps, New York session. If you want intraday moves like main ones, New York session. Even swing trades can be built from New York session. Okay. This is the summary why we are slowing down. I think I went over all of them. Good. So we went over this. One of the reasons, of course, which I didn't mention yet, but Bitcoin lost the catalyst from because the pump for Bitcoin was done also on the expectations the Trump administrative. Can see here, this pump here was also done on massive expectations from Trump administrative. We will do all the bullish steps Bitcoin wants and crypto to move further to the upside, but so far the Trump is not delivering. You're getting more friendly environment for crypto, sure, but no strategic assets for Bitcoin. They will not be buying for now Bitcoins. They said they will be researching this, but when Trump wants something to be done, he's not writing. He's not saying he will research. He's writing executive order. So for now, this is another reason why Bitcoin is range bound. It lost catalyst from Trump office. This can change in the future if there will be more bearish news or we get some big bullish news from Trump and US. So, like in the case of Bitcoin reserves, we should see massive moves to the upside. So we will see. So overall, Bitcoin will be now tied to macro and liquidity. Let's go back to YouTube video. And now the most interesting part for many of you is going to be topic, which is why there is no alt season since 2023. Yes, some of your altcoins made some money, but most of the altcoins didn't even take all-time highs. I'll be showing you why. So the first major factor for you is US net liquidity. We can see the Bitcoin. This is like super important chart for you. The biggest bull markets on crypto, on Bitcoin, happened when we had loose monetary conditions. Total US liquidity, which is the black line, you want it to grow. Yeah, so look at that. So in 2014, this was one of the cycles. US liquidity was going up and it was creating the explosive bull market. Now we have second option when the US liquidity is going sideways or is slowly draining the system, yet Bitcoin can do bull market. This was the case also on our latest bull market. Very similar condition, going sideways, but we still Bitcoin show us like 6x returns. It shows us also like the big power. It was also thanks to ETFs and so on, but very similar conditions. Another thing, when this was the corona drop, this was the biggest stimulation of economy in our history. Look at the liquidity. If you maybe in future during your lifetime, because I think this is pretty rare moment during our lifetime, maybe we get it once or twice. You literally can close eyes and buy almost anything in the world, and you will be making good money. Look how much they injected into the system, from 3.7 trillion up to how much? They injected 2 trillion into the system here, yes. And they, let's zoom, so let's do modern era, yeah, like this. Biggest injection, and Bitcoin found lows, because Bitcoin will be always, the reason why Bitcoin exists is to counteract liquidity in the system, yes, the monetary conditions. Biggest injection, and you are getting monster bull market. And this was also proper alt season, so I'll be showing you that you are getting alt season here. One of the reasons why you're getting no alt season here, because the liquidity is going actually down or sideways. Okay, so the liquidity will keep open. Now the Powell, this is extremely important piece of information for 2025. Just yesterday Powell said we would use quantitative easing only when rates are at 0, and now altcoin hodlers are sweating, definitely, because altcoins are literally reflecting you if monetary conditions are loose or tight. Okay, so this is, we need to remember that in case in the future we get a future financial crisis, we know when Powell will be ready to print money, and we will go with him. Really crazy, it was released yesterday, and he said that, really crazy. Let's go here, alt season. So this is pretty much typical altcoin season index. What I want to show you here, you've got, because in the past, for example, here is 2000, this was the pump into the 2021. So the true alt season is also not only moving from from Bitcoin season from 25 here, but it's also actually moving above this line and spend some time there. Okay, so the alts are here giving you these hundreds of percents of returns. This was like 2-3 months here. Yes, when I'm watching down there, and same thing here. This was 2000, this was 2025 bear market, so this was mainly Bitcoin crashing compared to alts, but this was the proper alt season. Now you see what happened since 2023. We were getting pushes, but we are still in midline, so no proper alt season until this was the first brief one, when Bitcoin topped out at 72,000. So you've got some alts pushing really nicely, and then you again back to lows, and now you've got this another big push which was top, like before Trump. Yeah, this was the Trump pump when they did really well, and now we are back. So this is not proper alt season because it's taking so little time. Now let's go to ADI. Okay, so this is really good. You can watch this maybe once a month or once a week. So, but this is clearly showing us why we don't have alt season. So we should really use top 100 coins here. We can read about this. It's basically showing you, so this is the total market cap growing, but it's showing you what are all the 100 coins doing, and are they actually performing well or they are trending down. And you can see from this perspective, the last proper alt season, when all the 100 coins were pushing to the upside, like most of them, along with market cap and along with Bitcoin, was Corona lows at 2020. This was the push. That's why you feel like you can literally feel why we have no alt season right now, because most of the coins are actually going sideways or down, and they never make all-time high with the market cap. This is Bitcoin. You also see that when Bitcoin is pushing, like all the altcoins are getting aboard with the Bitcoin, so it's pushing with the Bitcoin. But when Bitcoin goes into the range or it just sneezes, the altcoins are losing all of the gains, like so fast compared to Bitcoin. Look at that, yeah. So since 2020, we are actually we are not even in alt season since 2022. Of course, this was the cycle, but 2023, in this cycle, there was no proper alt season. Most of the altcoins are still trending down. Just go down. There are a lot of reasons why. I'll be showing you them a bit later. So now I want to show you relationship between Bitcoin dominance and altcoin market cap. We can go here, which will make more sense. So, because we've made massive gains since November. So this is the post-Trump pump. I personally expect when Bitcoin gets into deeper corrections, we will give up full Bitcoin, like all Bitcoin gains. So this is crypto market cap without Bitcoin and Ethereum. I will be expecting we will give our, this is the hot money, and we should really give up all of it. Now it's not looking like very strong because you are trending below this anchor VWAP, which is measuring whole Trump pump. You are still unable to return, or this range is not that important. But yes, there was front run of the VAC here, so at least you've got now accepted into there. But yeah, I want to show you the Bitcoin dominance. That's what matters here. So how you actually are getting like Bitcoin, I mean, proper alt season is when Bitcoin dominance is crashing, right? So people flood from altcoins into Bitcoin. Yeah? So last time we've got that was here. This was the proper move. And since that moment, Bitcoin dominance is trending up. We found big supports from previous lows. You can see just from technical analysis, Bitcoin is actually returning. Is returning into the dominance when we were between 59% up to 73%. Currently, we've got this big drop. This was largest liquidation event in history. And we are rejecting on point of control on the dominance. Even here is very technical on Bitcoin. But once you reclaim the point of control, you open road for 67% dominance on Bitcoin, and then 73, yeah, eventually. And you can see it's very technical. So dominance, this was the people were like really hoping. This was when alts made really good gains post-Trump. People were hoping we actually start crashing down and we get proper alt season, but it again never happened because these market structures are holding Bitcoin properly. So it's going to be interesting. And similar thing is here. So this is total 3 market cap, the same I was showing you. So everything without Bitcoin and Ethereum minus USD Tether and divided by Bitcoin. And you can see here, we can also turn on the Fed liquidity. And we are clearly seeing the Fed, like the altcoins are actually like, Fed doesn't care about altcoins. But altcoins will very likely show you, and it's all showing you right now and is also showing you in the future, what are the monetary conditions, because the altcoins are doing really well when we have loose monetary conditions. The Fed is pulling liquidity from the system since 2022, since May. It's still pulling down, so everything against Bitcoin is bleeding down. And ultimately we still don't know when will the Fed pivot. Okay, so maybe we will go further down with the liquidity until they start printing, and then you will see also change here. You will start to see things going up against Bitcoin, but now it's still like right now is still downtrend, and you see ultimately where is the big pain point. So if you lose this low, you will be returning back into this big support, which you need to be aware of. And this is ultimately another support area potentially. So in case we get dropped there, maybe we'll get really good deals on altcoins. But right now it's still downtrending. These people who were pushing here, like there was no big capitulation. But yes, again, everything will be about Fed liquidity in these conditions. This is also alt season or high time frames. Still loading. why it's still loading. Refresh. I let it load. And recently, by the way, we had the largest liquidation event in the history. Exchanges, there were like 10 billion of liquidations, and overall market cap on altcoins went down by 234 billion. So this was already like super exhaustive. Like a lot of people got cleared. Oftentimes when you are starting new downtrends, like macro downtrends, you are getting the first big flush first, and then there is continuation. We will see if it's going to be case. But again, this was so exhaustive, similar to the pullback in between Jan and July. Maybe it's going to be, the other scenario is like different, because this was the big flush then in the previous bull market. This was like lows, you can see here, and then we got another push to the upside. So maybe it's going to be same, but you need to be aware of it. There was already many of you, because I'm in touch with a lot of traders and investors, some of you got some like losses on the altcoin. So no wonder if this was like really, like Bitcoin didn't have so much drop. Many altcoins lost 30-50% plus just on that one day. So very, very crazy. So is this okay? So this is not loading. Cannot show you. Never mind. So for me, the main reasons, and you need to remember that I become Bitcoin maximalist for the reason, because if I want volatility, I will simply buy MicroStrategy stocks. If I want volatility, and I will still have exposure to Bitcoin. I don't need altcoins like at all. My main altcoin winner was Solana. I was buying in $30-20 range, so I got rewarded a lot. This is one of the main reasons why you don't get Altseason as well. ETFs changed everything on Bitcoin. These funds, we can zoom in here. These are all the hodlers who are buying Bitcoin ETFs, and they are just, accumulating. Most of them are not altcoin rotators. They buy Bitcoin and they forget about, and they don't go to Ethereum or other assets. So this is one of the reasons a lot of capital is now locked in Bitcoin and is unable to rotate like previously, because before ETFs, most of our capital was just on traditional exchanges outside of CME, Binance, Bybit, and people were doing these big rotations. They were expecting they will move profits from Bitcoin into large market caps and then into small market cap, and yeah, it's going to last weeks. They will see hundreds of percents. No, it's not going to happen in my opinion in the future, because more and more people are finding Bitcoin quality. In the end, ask yourself, do you want to own asset which is appreciating, we have less and less Bitcoins because people keep losing the keys. We are just getting less Bitcoins mined. It's one of the hardest assets in the world. Even gold is not so hard, because we are mining gold, so we continue to get new supplies of gold. You can see that here when we are on comparison, right? So we are mining gold, and in the future we get to space, we will get even more gold. So that will actually destroy gold market in the future when you like bring one asteroid full of gold. Yeah, so we will have no more Bitcoins than we have right now, and this is hardest asset. So when I'm asking questions what I want to own, I don't want to own, for example, the only reason why I was owning Solana in the cycle. Let's go to Solana here. Because Solana allowed me to own more Bitcoin ultimately. Let's go here, Solana. Daily time frame. So when I was buying in these regions, the only reason why I was holding Solana into the big highs and lows, highs, was to sell Solana, and now I have a lot of money to buy the dip on Bitcoin to actually accumulate more Bitcoin. Really good vehicle, because Solana is doing well in bull markets. Yes, we know a lot of meme coins are printed on Solana. So yeah, it has a lot of inflows, but once music stops and we get to bear market, Solana network is very costly to serve, so it's gonna be extra pressure. Plus there is very high inflation of Solana in the marketplace. You can see that on, so we go coin market cap. Just want to show you why I will never will be focusing on. So let's go Solana. Let's go to market cap. We zoom out. We go to all. Look at that. Look at that. So Solana was doing top in July 2021. Market cap was 71 billion. Now we went into 86 billion 19th of March. So it was not even let's go here. 19th of March. Yeah, so look at that. So Solana, like market cap was already higher by 86 is here, and this, so 10 billion higher market cap on Solana, a lot more money than before, but Solana was still far away from highs, was still 27% below the highs. And that's significant. You really need to understand this, because this is happening on most altcoins. Once you finally take out the highs, look at market cap is 1.21 billion. So you needed 75.25. So you needed 46 billion extra to get Solana to all-time highs. So what is it showing you? It's showing you it's getting harder and harder to get really good results for Solana or for any other altcoin to get to all-time highs. You need a lot more money in the system. Yes, that's why we get Altseason only when there are loose monetary conditions, that money are just flowing everywhere. Yeah, but you know, and what Solana did with 45 billion extra market cap was, look at that. So first you did swing failure pattern of this high. Yeah. And you were unable to trade above there, even with such extra money. So for me, Solana, this is called dilution. And for example, when you own one Solana for 1 year, at the end of the year, you will have like only 0.85 Solana in real terms. In few years, you buy 10 Solana, and in the real terms, you have like 5 Solana, because they keep diluting, they keep printing more Solanas, and the market caps is gonna be growing. So you definitely don't want to be in such asset for long term. All you want from altcoins, and that's your like takeaway for the next bear market. You want to accumulate in bear market lows, and once you start pushing, you will be selling on retail most of your altcoins. I'm not buying here Solana, I'm only selling what I already had. Here I leave it to Bitcoin. I'm into retail to buy expensive Solana and be happy with it. Okay, but it's not vehicle where your money will be appreciating long term. Everything is bleeding long term towards Bitcoin. We can see that here. Everything since 2022, Bitcoin dominance is still increasing. Bitcoin is like black hole. It's sucking and swallowing all the altcoins long term. You can even see that also here. Like still, we continue to do the new lows against Bitcoin. Most of the things you've got few big winners in the push, but most people no, they didn't make much. Look at by the way, on total market cap. By the way, this was another psychology factor. Yeah. So this is again BTC, and Ethereum is not included here. You went for, this was another, by the way, reason to book profits. This was like another take profit for me on altcoins. I literally read most of them. The remaining positions, I only have Solana now. I even read of Ethereum. I will buy Ethereum below 1000, but now Ethereum, I don't care about it. Many people, it was like pure psychology play, they were buying heavily. Like here, even my friends and family, I think some people were trapped here. So of course, when you come into the high, people will want to get out. So they will be creating the swing failure pattern for you. Same thing which apply on smaller time frames. The trap traders, same thing is applying here. These people are just without leverage, they were trapped. We are seeing swing failure pattern, and now boom, down. We are starting to downtrend. And by the way, on total to market, yes. On this, I can show you how I will be expecting what will be confirmation for bear market for the crypto. You can watch this from total market cap 2, which is excluding only Bitcoin, so everything else. For me, bear market will start like true bear market. It's going to be a bit late for you, sadly. but at least you will know you will get the cheap altcoins again. Currently we did a critical retest. You know how strong uptrends looks like from AMT. You want to find support in between POC and VAH. You want to retest. You want to do retest of the previous range, but you want to do it in a friendly manner, which is exactly what we did the week. Yes, we haven't spent much time there, massive liquidations, and someone bought the dip like crazy. The point of control held to the dollar. So for now, of course, this is still not a bull market, bear market, yes. You can also argue you are doing now lower highs and lower lows. So this thing is now downtrending. So we'll be watching if we continue to do that. For me, the bear market is starting when we are losing, like the first warning sign is going to be when you lose point of control. So you get acceptance into this range. If you lose this box, which was bought with such immense volumes and largest liquidation event, like you really don't want to come here. If you really want to push to the upside here because you filled enough and you destroyed a lot of people liquidity and you filled enough positions, you want to push either up. If you are returning back there, it's sign of weakness. It's sign of weakness. Even such a big buyers were unable to reverse market. If you lose this box, it's gonna be opening road for vol rotation into the 815 billion. And for me, the true bear market starts, of course, when you go beyond 700 billion line. You will be clearly trading below 9-month range. All the people who are buying in this range also start to get into loss, and then market's gonna hunt their liquidity, and sadly their liquidity will be found and their pain point in the previous bear market range lows. So once this box goes, you are going back into the very long range here, and again it's very likely we start accumulating. We don't know, and then we do this. Okay, so your major opportunities will come here. But time will tell. For now, this is holding, so this is a good sign that this is holding at least. But you see how quickly we lost all the gains. For Bitcoin, this was nothing. For Bitcoin is just still in ranging. Yeah, it's just 2.5 month range. It went only to 91k, bottom of the range, but altcoins and Ethereum are already getting destroyed. Yeah. So in case Bitcoin gets, so let's go back to Bitcoin. Like I can't imagine personally what's gonna happen to altcoins and Ethereum if Bitcoin starts, losing this range. Yes. If we start losing this range and we will go for this big retest of this previous range here, what's gonna happen to them? Like, you know what's gonna happen to them, I already told you before. We will give up all the gains from Trump. All these gains here, which we did on Trump, which we went from 580 billion without Ethereum up to 500 billion was added to the market. All of them will be destroyed. Okay. So you see why you are getting no proper alt season. Bitcoin is sucking all the big capital, which wants quality asset, not quantity. They are not rotating into altcoins. That's a big factor, and they are already owning over 600,000 bitcoins. Like I think they own 580,000. So yeah, already crazy. No, they own 500,000 plus bitcoins. And another reason is you have only few winners so far in the alt season, Solana and few, but most altcoins they didn't make all-time high. They did push, but it's not enough because they are giving up everything on Bitcoin sneezing. Yes. Yeah, but this is going to be warning you, and in the future we want, if Fed liquidity, like if Fed funds the pivot and it's gonna start quantitative easing, we will see in what type of environment will we be, and if we get if we'll be in financial crisis or not. But Fed is going to be big changer here, and then you will want to see this changing structure to the upside. So you see everything performing, and then you will get the true alt season. But yet again, I don't care if we get through Altseason. For me, I will have exposure mainly on Bitcoin. And if I want leverage, if you want leverage and you want Bitcoin volatility exposure, you have MicroStrategy for that. So let's go to MicroStrategy. It's going to be last thing we can talk, and that's it. Yeah, because this cycle I made more money compared to Bitcoin from on HODL on MicroStrategy. Look how cheap it was during bear market. So it was just for 17. It was just for 17 and we did push. So I was accumulating MicroStrategy here and also in this range. So I think my average is 120 something, something like that. So you went from 17 so you went from 17 up to 535. Okay, so this is 3000% gain, and this is many times more than Bitcoin itself. So I don't need altcoins. I will be betting on Bitcoin, and MicroStrategy is my friend. Now it's still pretty expensive, so you will need to be ready on big pullbacks on MicroStrategy and do big dollar cost averaging. They own I don't know what's the actually, because they're buying recently, they own a lot of Bitcoins. But by the way, here on MicroStrategy, this is how market psychology works. Sadly, this was the most traded stock. The MicroStrategy was most traded stock in the world for 2 days, more than Tesla, more than Nvidia. Yeah, so retail actually, like this was it was in the news. MicroStrategy goes to 1000 and the retail put top here, and it's still bleeding down. So this is how strategy works. I mean, market psychology. You need to be buyer here and here, not at the top. It's too late. It's time to distribute profit. But all of you are improving. It's very important for you as a hodler and investor to go over one trend. Over one cycle. Experience bull market, experience bear market, and then you are getting very much like stronger out of the cycle, and you can do decisions better. Markets are cyclical. You are not losing time on anything. You just need to be ready. I will be giving you plenty macro advices as well, what I'm doing with my money. Final advice: nobody can see future, so we need to be reactive. We need to watch data points. Like even today we have CPI, so we'll be watching data points. Market is watching. We watch CPI, new FOMC, and then jobs. Like this big jobs report which you get once a month, and from that you can see how economy is doing. You can be reactive. Also, if we get financial crisis, we will see that in earnings. The earnings will be dropping for most companies in the world. Even good companies will be getting cheaper. For now, earnings are still really good, so US economy is doing well. There are no warning signs there. So, and with bull market, we definitely want Fed to be easing conditions. That's one of the things, and then Trump to do some big actions for Bitcoin. These are two things I want to see. But also long term, there will be demand for Bitcoin anyway, because it's hedge for everything, against everything. So your job now is to definitely, I would not be looking to buy alts. By the way, no financial advice. I'm just saying what I'm doing. I'm just hoarding cash. I'm preparing cash positions for deeper pullbacks, and I want to be ready to buy in much better reward ratio areas. So that's all from me. So thank you for watching, guys. I might do this type of video once or 2 months would be nice. Very likely, because these data are not changing as much. Thank you for watching, traders, and I hope it was useful for you. And have a pleasant day. Bye.